One of these things that you may find in a junkyard. This is a small book for Volvo V70. I believe is one of the later models, maybe 2006, 7. They run the V70 until 2007, at least in Canada. You got this K for them. You may want to pause if you actually are looking for some information. This one, and by the way, notice the background. It's very, very nice. I'll pass it in a moment. Um, I've seen this wooden steering wheel. Maybe, yeah, I didn't know the V70 had it, but at least the XC90 did had it. It definitely looks very nice, but there is another steering in the later years, a sporty one, not only on the V70 R or S60R, just in the regular cars, perhaps an optional. Again, sporty looking one, which had like silver trim at the bottom, and it's thicker actually and has a much better leather cover than the base model, and that's the one I really prefer. The wooden one, people say, especially in winter time, is very cold. Summertime it gets very hot, so, and also the feel of the hard surface is, I think there are people who don't prefer that, even though obviously it looks very, very nice. Say instrument panel gives you information for other our DIM. I just try to kind of almost scan this for you people so I get an idea. Interesting. Let's just pass it this way. So again, it's the later model of Audio, the what was that, 850 and 650 range. It's a completely different configuration. All these streams are different. You cannot interchange them. So pause if you want to read a little bit more. Many of these are options. If not all of these are options. And this going to be Canadian model. Markets sometimes have different options. This one, it's a very nice tan interior. I do like the tan color. Again, this being V70, you got this booster seats, and I believe you can even add all 3 rear seats into the booster configuration. 10 CD charger or charger. I would call it charger. Inside the trunk, I never seen one of these, but I didn't look either. Rear seats, folding rear seats. It gives the instructions, and I did try to lower the rear seats, and on the V70 you have this kind of, it's confusing if you don't know how to use it. I believe you have to press the red button and move this backwards or something like this. But one of the things I did notice is that it gets stuck. For not being used for 10-15 years, it really gets stuck. It's crazy difficult to operate it. One of the reasons is that the rear seats in the V70, they fall down, but they also, perhaps Volvo intended to offer some sort of protection in case of rear crash, rear impact. They have a very different design than the S60, which attached to the rear body or frame of the car, and it's completely different configuration. So these seats, the rear upper side of the seat in the V70 is very heavy, and I'm guessing Volvo did design a very strong latch here to lock the seats vertical, so in case you crash your car on the front, the mass, the weight of the rear vertical part of the seat doesn't collapse and crush everybody. Well, not crush, but obviously is going to hurt a little bit the rear passengers. So that's why they designed a strong lock Again, the seats are very heavy, and the mechanism here is crazy. It's a little bit. I feel some of the people of Volvo had sort of paranoia designing a few parts for safety, but not necessarily the safety for crash, but just designing some of the components in these cars. Really, too much thinking, too much. Just overthinking in some parts, especially connectors, electrical connectors. I hate those. Okay, the paint care, car washing and waxing are fine. Do not use abrasive. Very strong paint in Volvo P2 from 2001, 2007 for V70 and 9 for the S60. I believe Volvo they spend a lot of money, especially the first 3 years of production. After that, they realized they are spending too much money to produce, to build the cars, and perhaps the sales didn't really skyrocket as they hoped, perhaps. So they cut the cost, but the paint and the galvanization of the body was really done very well. Perhaps one of the best cars in the market with that quality. Okay, this is the one side. Wow. So it's sort of a lengthy video, but if you want. And these seats, I don't know if I knew they put them on first 3 year of production, 01, 03, but at some point they did remove these very nice releasing latches with get your seat to collapse completely, not perfectly horizontal, but it's 2004. I couldn't find these latches, but perhaps they reintroduced them later on. Manual seat travel, I'm guessing this is going to be for manual seats, or is that manual seat adjustment? Usually in Canada here we have the driver's seat being electrical and the front passenger seat will be mechanical. I would say half the time is electrical, but so this again, it's the HU 850, which was quite problematic. Problems with the speakers, problem with the audio itself, and some people say it sounded less good than the previous 803 and 803 amplified, but anyhow, more problems, not very reliable units. Again, cost cutting, more than surely cost cutting. Sad thing, but that's what happens. You get a team of engineers in the first years, and they are very enthusiastic. They say we are going to make an amazing car. It doesn't sell that much. The company is not making as much money they are expecting, and then they put another team or another manager or something like that, and the guy says, "Yo, guys, you spend so much money on this. It doesn't pay. So let's just cut cost and let's just." Put a cheaper part, the headlights, right? After 2005, they put those plastic, horrible, hand-destroying headlights, horrible design, really bad. That's completely terrible to change a bulb in 2005 and up cars on this Volvo. Okay, so that's it. Just pause into the video and enjoy this booklet. Very nice looking, I have to say. Look at the trim, the borders. they are thinking everything. So we have here, looks like the background, if you want. It looks like in the desert. They brought the car somewhere in the desert. I don't know where, in the United States perhaps. You see, it looks like that Salt Lake, where it's like a racing area or something, like for a speed record. So this one looks to be perhaps a second gen S40, V50, S60. Is that an R? Could be an R, I don't know. I would say this one to be S80, V70. Again, we don't know if it's a R, XC70, and XC90. Okay, thanks for watching.